This storm, as far as the reading from the Hurricane Center, it is 1 mile per hour shy of being a Category 5 storm right now as it makes landfall. Once the winds really start picking up, we are going to hear the wind howling through our tower. If you've ever been out by our location in Webb, we have about almost 1,000-foot tower next to the building.
And made landfall, say, around Apalachicola, the Appalachian Bay area, all that water.
We made it out. We encountered a lot of debris on the roadways and stuff, and we're not even dealing with the hurricane force wind just yet here in the Wiregrass.
Once the sun comes up in the morning, we'll really know the extent of what we're dealing with here.
Yeah, and when that does happen in the hardest hit areas, more outside of Dothan, more to the east and southeast, it is going to be a huge shock for a lot of people. Little by little, things are coming back to life out there, even the traffic lights little by little.
What's going on with the radar right now?
Well, right now it is starting to pick up as far as the activity, and most of the stronger storms happen to our east and northeast as expected, but looks like the environment is a little bit more favorable for some of these storms to become strong and severe in our neck of the woods. There is a severe thunderstorm watch in place until 9 o'clock this evening, and on the radar it is starting to look pretty active. And as far as the stronger storms, just as we were anticipating yesterday, the primary risk area is still well to our north and west, especially across South Carolina, northeast Georgia, but we are included in this slight risk, which is a 2 out of 5 on the severe weather scale, meaning that a few storms that do develop will have the potential to produce winds in excess of 60 miles per hour. And there's also a low-end threat that we could have some hail out of some of the taller thunderstorms that do develop. Action radar right now scanning the skies. Most of the activity is Dothan and northward along Highway 84 and points northward. Lots of lightning in Henry County right now. This cell dumping a lot of heavy rain as it's drifting off to the east. These storms are moving pretty quickly, about 25 to 30 miles per hour. This one right over Abbeville right now. Lots of lightning again along 431 and points to the east of that headland. Looks like just to your north, a decent cell developing there in Dale County. In between Daleville and Midland City, we do have a cell that's popping up. Not too much lightning with that, but some brief heavy rain is certainly possible. That looks like Coffee County largely clear at the moment, but you did have some heavier rain a little bit earlier. And as long as we have these cells drifting in from the west, we do have that threat for those stronger storms to develop. There's a lot of energy in the atmosphere to work with. We have a lot of moisture and a lot of warm air. Temperatures in the mid-90s for some locations. A little bit cooler where we've had those heavier cells of rain developing and sitting over a location. 75 right now for Abbeville compared to 95 degrees in Andalusia, where it has been mostly dry this afternoon. Hour by hour going through this evening into 6:45, we will be still tracking some heavier storms across the area as this line drifts from the north to the south, and it really won't be until about 8 o'clock and beyond when conditions will really start to improve for us. Temperatures staying on the warm side. Still the risk of a few showers going into the evening and overnight hours, but that severe weather threat will be ending once that main line moves through the area. So overall, as far as those conditions overnight, staying pretty sticky for us. Temperatures in the 70s, dew point temperatures in the 70s, so that gives us a pretty decent indication that we will be waking up the temperatures in the lower to middle 70s for tomorrow. We keep that high storm chance around through at least mid-evening, tapering off then as we head into the 11 o'clock hour, maybe a few lingering showers, and then going through the day tomorrow, we will go through the same thing as far as storms developing in the afternoon, but it looks like the severe weather threat will not be with us, but temperatures will be warming into the mid-90s, so 1 or 2 storms not out of the question will be capable of producing some gusty. Wednesday afternoon was hot and dry, and that's going to be the case as we head into Thursday afternoon. In fact, temperatures will be heating up even more with a mostly sunny sky. The radar all clear this evening. Some cloud cover has been off to our south and east, and we did have some showers across the panhandle near Tallahassee earlier in the day, and that little bit of moisture is eventually going to be riding up the coast and bring some rain chances to, say, Savannah, Brunswick, and into Charleston, South Carolina over the next couple days, and has a chance of bringing us a little bit of moisture as we do go into Friday. But overall, the more significant rain chances will be holding off till this weekend. Dry conditions in place tonight, so the temperatures there in the 70s for the most part at the moment across the Wiregrass. We'll be able to cool off into the upper 60s for a lot of locations by tomorrow morning. We're projecting 68 degrees for Dothan, 67 for Ozark, and feeling pretty good up in Eufaula tomorrow morning, 65 degrees. A few other locations will be in the lower 70s, but with dry air in place, with a lot of sunshine, those temperatures are really going to be heating up pretty quickly. Already the lower 80s by 9 o'clock. 11 o'clock, we're going to be nearing 90 degrees, and some of us have the chance by the later afternoon hours of getting into the middle 90s. We're going for 94 degrees for us here in Dothan, but with dry air in place, we're not going to be dealing with an excessively hot heat index temperature. In fact, at times the air temperature will be feeling maybe a few degrees cooler than that actual temperature. But overall, hotter temperatures are on the way for the next couple of days. That won't be changing until we get to the weekend when those storm chances return for the most part for Saturday and especially on Sunday. That's when we do have the better chance of having more in the way of widespread showers and storms across the weekend. That's going to help those temperatures to be a little bit cooler, actually bring them back to average. Average right now is 89 degrees for us. So here's the dry air that has been funneling into the southeast. That's going to help it to really heat up for us tomorrow. This moisture will be trailing off to a little bit more to our east over the next couple of days and giving the higher rain chances to say southeast Georgia and up into the South Carolina coast. So for us overnight, we'll be looking at that sky staying pretty clear. Temperatures in the upper 60s for tomorrow morning as you head out the door. Lower to middle 90s for most locations for those afternoon temperatures. Lots of sunshine, maybe a few thin clouds to filter things out, especially as we go into Friday. We'll have an increase in that cloud cover. You can see that little bit of a spin in the atmosphere off to our east. That's that moisture that's down to our southeast right now, and that does have a chance of working some moisture into our area for Friday, but at this point don't count on widespread rain and storm chances. Wait for that to be here on Saturday and for Sunday. 68 degrees for our low temperature for tonight, and then for tomorrow 94 degrees. Some spots will be a little bit warmer than that, so definitely stay cool and stay hydrated if you can. Limit your outdoor activities because these temperatures are the hottest that we will be have dealing with so far this year. Temperatures will cool off a bit as we slide into the weekend as those storm chances increase, and they'll stay with us next week. Scattered showers and storms for Monday, Tuesday, and for Wednesday, maybe a slightly higher rain chance for next Wednesday. The strongest storm to ever hit the Florida Panhandle devastated the lives of many. Generationally, people will be talking about this storm for years. High-end Category 4 hurricane with maximum sustained wind of 155 miles per hour, a strength that fell just short of a Category 5 storm. Mexico Beach suffered a direct hit and widespread destruction as homes and buildings were destroyed by powerful winds and completely swept away by a 14-foot storm surge. Just east of Mexico Beach lies Port St. Joe, a town that caught part of Michael's eye and suffered damage from a 9-foot storm surge. Most structures near St. Joseph Bay will have to be completely demolished and rebuilt. It's an area that may never look the same again and will require years of rebuilding before it returns to its former glory.
I look for maybe the next couple of years. You know, there's a lot of devastation and a lot of people without, but you know, it's going to take time to rebuild everything.
About 2 days on the house like this.
Yeah, we'll have it down and on the side of the road.
Even in the midst of the darkness and devastation comes hope. Stories of neighbors helping neighbors and leaning on each other, helping with the cleanup process.
Just below the windows.
Port St. Joe resident Dan Schmidt says now he knows all of his neighbors.
I know everybody on the street now, you know, for the first 2 weeks after the hurricane, I would go down and have breakfast with the neighbors. Incredible. I was just given such incredible gifts. The thing I got out of this was just the beauty of people.
Dan had 3 feet of water in his house and is currently rebuilding. He hopes to be back in his home within the year. The same sentiment can be said for Mexico Beach, which was ravaged by the highest winds and storm surge more than any other town in the area. It was declared wiped out by federal emergency management officials.
We're fortunate to have a house. Most people don't have one here.
The Adairs lost nearly everything in the house, but it still stands high, much like their spirit. They hope to be back in their home sooner than later. How long do you think it'll be before you kind of get back to normal with the inside? What you have to do and everything? Probably like a year or so?
Oh, no, I don't have that much patience.
Oh.
No, we're good. Well, it looks awful out here, but inside we've we've cleaned, I mean, we've taken everything out, and we've got all of our sheetrock back in, and we're just taking it as we can. And but no, we hope to be, you know, in maybe 3 or 4 months we'll be ready.